Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching my One Piece Chill channel, welcome back. Today we are going to read the news chapter of One Piece number 1109, and I know I'm super late on this one. I missed it completely that it came out. I actually thought it was a break week. I don't know how I got so confused. So if you still waited for my reaction, this is my first reaction, the first time seeing the chapter. And if you didn't read it yourself yet, obviously there is a spoiler alert if you're not up to date with manga, as I'm always saying, so be careful about that. But with all that said, let's read the chapter. Let's go. Okay, it's called Termination. Alright, this doesn't sound well. And we have a cover story. Cover story? A submerged Onigashima. Oof. Wait, this is so interesting. I want to look into it a little bit more. It looks majestic. It looks really cool. So I assume something is going on. Now I'm also excited for the next chapter to see the continuation of a cover story. And yeah, right, Vegapunk's message to the world. It was just aired, and we can assume that everyone, literally everywhere, heard it. At least that's the idea. Stella, is this wise? Even if you set this broadcast to start suddenly, it may not work. I guess that's a bit of a flashback how this was created, maybe? What do you mean, Shaka? Oh no, it does sound like it's being transmitted, so I guess it's part of the message. He just kind of recorded it, but all the dialogue after that is also continuing to be recorded. That's what I feel like is happening here. We are counting too much on people being ready to receive and relay this. You know how it is with information. Agencies always spread the news all around the world by the next day. You think so, but what if someone intercepts or censors our message? Where is this broadcast coming from? It's coming from every ship's transponder snail. You are right. Any suggestions? We could piggyback off of the Navy's comms traffic. I see. That's what's going on here right now. Got the connection. That's the thing. We can't. That would allow us to force a worldwide constant broadcast with our signal strengths at maximum. Ooh. I see that will make it possible for anyone with a transponder snail to receive our initial voice message. I'm sorry, I love how it's all been explained because he it was intended to broadcast the message itself, but it seems like everything after the message was also recorded and is now being broadcasted. So we are kind of being handed on a silver platter the explanation how he managed to do it, and it is explained here that it is through the Marines snail system. So everywhere where this system is, so only everywhere where Marines are, because I assume it's like all over the world. And I guess if Marine bases can reach all around the world, then people should still hear it everywhere, and the signal is strong and they can't cut it. Okay, but they'll still need a while to prepare the visual transponder snails. The time to set that up will vary from place to place, because see, on the previous page we actually see the visual of the conversation as well, right? But from some snails I think it's just like the voice, just the audio, right? Let's take an interval of 1 hour. An hour? That's too long. Don't you realize what will happen in that time? Interval of 1 hour. Hmm. Okay. What are you planning to say, Vegapunk? That's Vegapunk, right? Where is it coming from? Why now? Oh, right. So yeah, he was just saying that he's going to tell the truth about the world, and again, this what we are hearing right now, it's happening right after his words in the end of the previous chapter. So I guess there's an interval of an hour, maybe. That what he means between start of the message where he said, I'm about to share something interesting, now you listen to me and rumble about it for an hour, and then after an hour passes I will actually deliver the message itself, because we need the video also for the evidence. So basically, the visual evidence is also necessary for people to believe in this message. And by the time all of the snails around the road get these visuals set up, then so in around an hour he's going to show and tell a little show and tell. There are people who won't be pleased when we start this broadcast. They may find a way to terminate it before we finish. Is this where the name of the chapter comes in? Fair point. In that case, let's set the preparation interval to 10 minutes. Okay, that got cut quite drastically. Vegapunk, that's your voice, right? Hey! And Sanji is trying to talk to Vegapunk, but he is unconscious. People of the world. So this is also the start of the message. Saturn is here just thinking, just his thoughts racing. What is he going to say? What is he going to deliver? And we go to Holy Land of Marijoa. So now, is this a flashback or is this also happening right now? Let's see. What is this transmission? No, it is right now. Because there are thoughts of Saturn. Have you dealt with Vegapunk? And I assume like they are thinking about it right now. What is this transmission? What is the meaning of this? Kizaru delivered a killing blow. I saw it. They are talking to each other telepathically. They from Marijoa are asking Saturn, have you dealt with Vegapunk? And he answers, Kizaru delivered a killing blow. I saw it myself. He should be dead. So basically, without any like snail. Wait, was it shown before? Maybe when Saturn just arrived and he was on the ship, that could be an opportunity to show some telepathical stuff. But or maybe he was on the snail back then. Honestly, I don't really remember. So correct me if I don't remember something. But I still think it's worth pointing out here that he can talk to them telepathically, like through the world, and without any object of transmission. Could he have set up a dead man's switch so that this message would play upon the death of his main body? Yeah, I think that's the idea. So does this mean that the main body is officially dead? This is the killing blow. He is deceased, and that's why the message is playing. So there's no hope of Stella personally coming back to life. That seems likely. We have no way of knowing what he will say. Yeah, that's the exciting part. If we can just pinpoint the source of this broadcast. The only location that seems plausible is the Labo Stratum on Egghead, but it's currently protected by that barrier of his. What should we do for the remaining 9.5 minutes? It's only been 30 seconds? Oh, time crawls so slowly. I feel like a lot of stuff happened already. We could get inventing. There's so much to do. Alright, so we go back to the recording where Vegapunk with all of his satellites, he's still recording this message. So it was only 30 seconds of the message, and they still have like 9.5 before he makes the actual announcement. So someone, maybe Shaka, is asking, what should we do for these 9.5 seconds? And maybe Stella answers, we could get inventing. There's so much to do. How about some coffee? Or maybe like different satellites are talking here. Because I assume maybe they are all actually in. We see only 2 of them in the frame, but maybe others are also present. Dress Road, New World. Now, if he recorded this message and all of the satellites know about this information, because he recorded it, only a few of them were present, but they're still kind of connected with each other, so maybe the information should be spread to all of them. I'm not really sure about this detail. Maybe not, because they didn't know about the betrayal of York. Her name was York, right? So obviously there is information hidden like from each other. Dressrosa, New World. Yeah, and there were other examples of that, I suppose. Did you hear that? This is Dr. Vegapunk we're talking about. If he's trying to tell the entire world something, it must be a big deal. So now we see the different places in the world where the message is being transmitted. Dressrosa, for example. Get a visual transponder snail out here. Put up a screen. Hurry, we only have 10 minutes. Yeah, but I like how this woman seems to be just this flamenco girl seems to be just continuing dancing while everyone around her are freaking out. This is a crucial message. We need a visuals right away, and she's just with a rose in her lips. She's just, still vibing. That's a nice, nice frame. The wise man Luffy land kidnapped. What's happening? Don't tell me you guys trusted another bad article about Lucy. Is Rebecca, are they training here? Why are they all so wet? I assume they're training and they're in sweat. I could also calculate the probability of interference happening. We've got the video ready. Is that Vegapunk? Yeah, and also that's interesting because there are also visuals, and Vegapunk was such a mysterious figure. Like, we as readers were wondering how is he going to look like, because we didn't know, and we can assume that most of the world also didn't know how Vegapunk looks like. So this is also many of them kind of satisfying their curiosity. Oh, that's Dr. Vegapunk. That's how he looks like and stuff. Fuchsia Village, East Blue. Okay, this is very exciting when they show reactions from different parts of the world, and usually after newspapers or after bounties, but this time it's about Vegapunk's crucial announcement. So that is really cool. I like it. And we get to meet some of the characters again. So, Fuchsia Village. What's this all about? I thought it was just gonna be more news bad mouthing Luffy. A visual transponder snail? If only the village had one. How about it, Mayor? Who's gonna pay for that? Raising it wouldn't be free, Isn't having audio enough? Oh, they aren't going to have visuals? Oh, that's unfortunate. What a 7. Ooh, grand line. Wake up. This can't be good. Iceberg Secretary Alice. Her name is pronounced Alicia? Wait, did we see? I think we saw a cover story of Iceberg going through the options to get a new secretary. Maybe she was on that cover story. I don't really remember. But I this is a really small girl, and she has some cute pet on her head. Maybe she was on that cover story and she's the one he chose, because I don't remember the resolution of it. Maybe there wasn't any, but now we can see his new secretary. I mean, maybe we saw her before. Again, I start forgetting things, so if you remember, you can also point that out in the comments. Yes, Miss. Okay, so he says, prepare to screen the message. Very sleepily. Well, whatever. Yes, Mr. President, it's already playing in the room next door. Screens for each dock are also being prepared. It's nighttime, but considering the importance of the event, a summons has been issued notifying all citizens to be at the screen within 10 minutes. Is there anything else? So we can see why she was chosen as a secretary. She seems to be very good at her job. She has already everything prepared, and she delivers everything in a very nice and concise and clear manner. So that's very impressive. World Economical Journal. Ooh, what's with this feed? It's been relayed from from Navy frequencies, but it's unencrypted. Where Luffy-san and the others? So obviously we see Vivi and Vapol, everyone here on this fantastic airship, this teapot ship. Don't be idiots. Look at the clock in the background. That isn't the current time at Egghead. This must have been pre-recorded. After all, the Buster Call is bound to have reduced the island to a sea of flames by now. I mean, it wasn't that efficient, man. It wasn't that efficient. West Blue. It's Dr. Vegapunk in the flesh. I heard his mind was a cut above the rest, but this isn't what I expected. This is a nice choice of words. Seeing kind of how he's mind here is cut out and there's apple. I don't know, it's kind of it's funny. Nurse Blue, the man who lit up the world. South Blue, he's going for all this trouble. What does he want the world to know? It might be the invention of the century or something. Oh, that's really nice. It's just regular people of the world are watching the news. Oh, we got a double page. My eye immediately went to dragon, but let's start from the right. So Kamabaka Kingdom. It will take 10 minutes to brew the coffee. This is from the recording. I won't get a sip in. So it would be perfect, drinking coffee maybe while making an announcement, but because it takes so long to brew it, it won't be here ready in time. I see the probability of interference in this time frame is exceedingly low. What is Vegapunk up to now? More importantly, has he lost his head? So that's the Dr. Vegapunk everyone is always talking about. He's quite the man to do this in the middle of a crisis. The revolutionaries are impressed, while Dragon remembers Shaka's words, but Vegapunk's in general, right? I think I will be dead soon. And so, yeah, I remember we saw this conversation, right? And he probably assumes, okay, so he must have been correct and he is probably dead, and now he is relaying this pre-recorded message. I mean, that's a reasonable conclusion, right? So we are going back to Egghead. Looks like my punches don't damage you, Luffy says. We see a frame of Saturn's eye and a frame that is very memeable with Kizaru. I mean, if it was a bit bigger, maybe when the anime comes, this frame will be animated. I mean, when the animation episode will appear, with Kizaru with like light in his eyes, I think it would be perfect for memes. Oh, wait, that's a lot. So Kizaru now uses this fantastic meme light from his eyes to attack Luffy. So Luffy... and also Saturn attacks at the same time, but Luffy evades both of the attacks. I'm not letting you two run off, he says, holding them still. Not till I'm sure my friends have escaped. That's quite some power, right? He's just holding them still. Kama. Now booming on Symbol. Wait. This looks so impressive and kind of, fitting with this drums of liberation, and this is a cymbal, and it kind of looks how this instrument works. So you put two pieces of it together. This is very... yeah, this is might be the best panel. It's so well drawn too. I love it. And then we see the aftermath of it, and it's so funny. Following the cartoonish theme and them being so completely thin, like paper, and a bit wavy, and with stars over their head. It's just... actually, no, I mean, this frame is fantastic, but it's big, it's impactful, it looks cool. But this smaller one with the stars and Saturn as this sheet of paper, it's just might be my favorite. It's just so funny. Since you keep getting better, no matter what. Huh? What's it gonna take to keep you down? Saturn flows away to Luffy's shock. And Luffy's like, what the heck am I supposed to do to keep you down? This is like wheel of hell. I don't know. Saturn has this, you know, maybe perfect balance of intimidating and funny, because on some panels, yeah, he did look very intimidating, but on some he just looks hilarious. Kizaru-san, what in the world happened? Are you alright, Admiral? He just he lies here on the ground just laughing. Oh gosh, I wanted to say sighing. I'm sorry. Sighing heavily, that's what I wanted to say. Alright. There's no time, Saturn. We cannot allow Vegapunk to speak freely. Saturn is getting the transmission from Marijoa. So he has to terminate this transmission. Whoa, that was close, but Luffy is trying to stop him from it. Well, hopefully he does. I really want to hear what Vegapunk wants to say. I'll send you flying for good, Luffy says. He threw something. He threw Saturn into the ship? What is going on here? I mean, that is funny, Luffy. I agree. This is last page, double page. I have to take it in. What is this? There it is. This is our ship. I hope Vegapunk and the others are alright. I shall perform the summoning, Saturn is saying. And the other elders agree with him. They say very well. We see some black lightning. Everyone is shocked. Yeah, thanks, guys. Mr. Obvious. Marines are yelling, what the? Black lightning? That's what I said, guys. That's what I just said. And, yeah, Luffy's like, what is going on? And again, I have the same reaction. What is going on? This is huge, you know, devil summoning circles, and not one of them. No, there's at least 6 of them. At least 6. The hell? Also an appropriate reaction. The perfect word. Perfect choice of words. It's just like when that spider geezer appeared. Yeah, but then it was only like one circle and it was his appearance. But here he obviously is summoning something, and there are at least 6 of them, and they look very intimidating. The planets are aligning. And that is it. That is the last page of the chapter. The planets are aligning. Huh. Does he mean the summoning of other Goro? I mean, that would make sense, don't you think? With the clues. Him saying this is the summoning. Sanji saying this is just like when he appeared. And then the narrator and the saying the planets are aligning. So we have at least 3 clues to assume that this is the summoning of other Gorosei. So how many do we see? Okay, this might be actually 3. Maybe it is 5. Maybe it's just like this is a single one. I thought this is 2 separate ones, but it might be a single one. Then, or maybe then it could be even, because I thought, you know, that 2 of these are kind of the smaller ones in the distance. But now that I look at it more closely, it could be just like part of the big ones, not a separate ones in the distance. So then it would make 1, 2, 3, 4 big ones, correct? And we go back to the page with the Gorosei, and there are exactly 4 of them that are in Marijoa right now. So we have 4 summoning circles, 4 Gorosei. So basically it's like 100%. I'm quite certain they are all coming. That is like the shocking part. You know, I feel like all the clues are there, and it is basically given to us as a fact that the Gorosei are coming, right? But at the same time, all of them coming there, wouldn't that be a bit like too early to face all of them, and how close are we to the very finishing lines? Are we going to have a like showdown with them now? Probably not. We are kind of trying to run away. I don't know. This is just because we are going to Elbaf after this. How much are we still going to like learn and achieve before the ending? What will be the actual final battle? Because I feel like that if we assume that there is supposed to be some final enemy, right? We would think it's probably Blackbeard. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Even though world government is like the main evil, I felt like the whole time Blackbeard was set as the main like opponent, main kind of antagonistic parallel to Luffy and his crew. So it always felt to me like if there is some kind of final showdown, it's going to be against Blackbeard. But there is also a small issue of world government and all this Gorosei and Imusama that are kind of the biggest antagonists of the story, I would say. So I and expected some kind of showdown against them. You remember I was thinking, okay, maybe they kind of take Vivi and we have to rescue Vivi, but that's kind of out of the window now. She's with Morgans and stuff. So I'm just wondering, will there be actual fight with Gorosei? Because Luffy seems to be holding his own in his Nika form quite well against Saturn. But when we have 4 more coming in, I don't feel like other members of the crew, maybe Zora only Zora, them kind of being able to fight Gorosei right now. So I don't feel like it can be this kind of fight showdown, but it might be a setup of us seeing all these monstrous forms of Gorosei, and maybe after all, like hearing the transmission of Vegapunk's message, hopefully it's not interrupted and we can hear it, and running away from here to Elbaf, maybe with the giants, maybe on their ship. There was a moment where Luffy threw kind of threw Saturn at one of the ships, and I think this is this is our ship. No, it is actually not harmed at all. I hope Vegapunk and the others are alright. Yeah, was just a panel of giants that come into their ship, and the ship is actually completely unharmed. I kind of glossed over it because I was distracted by the huge summoning circles. So yeah, I assume maybe on this ship, along with hopefully our ship, we are going to maybe on these like 2 ships together leave for Elbaf by the end of Egghead. But yeah, this kind of my thoughts for now. So if you are here, if you watched this video, even though I know I read the chapter super late, if you have any thoughts to share, if you have your own opinions on the chapter, speculation for the next chapter, you can share them in the comments below as usual, as well as your favorite moment. But that would be it for today. So thank you for watching and see ya!